Wealth creation is like you are climbing a mountain. Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you and share with you wealth creation gradient. Wealth creation gradient or graph. Wealth creation gradient or graph. What do they mean by wealth creation gradient or graph? In order for you to achieve wealth, you need to go through a lot of things in life. You need to go through a lot of things in life. And it's like you want to ascend from beneath to the top. Wealth creation is like when you have the mindset that you want to create wealth in life, it's like you want to leave one position that make people to ridicule you or to belittle you to a position where you can be accorded respect or being honored. Where you can be accorded respect or be honored. And for you to be able to do this, what you need to do is for you to change from the position you are right now that you are not pleased with to a position that can make you happy. And that's come to the topic that we are going to have on this video about wealth creation gradient or graph. How do we change our position? How do we move from the bottom to the top, from the beneath to the peak? How do we move? And what are the things that we have to go through before we can exhibit this movement? Now, let me draw a graph. This is a graph. This is a graph. So, can you see this graph? The vertical axis represent achievement. Achievement. It depicts how you are achieving in life. And the horizontal axis represent time, because time is involved in this life. Time is involved for you to achieve anything. It takes time. If you want to achieve something in this life, it takes time for you to achieve that thing in life. So now, the graph we are having here represents what you are achieving in life and how you have been able to achieve it. And what are the things you pass through? Because the graph of creating wealth is not a straight graph. It can never be a straight graph. For you to achieve something in this life, you need to go through a lot of things. You need to pass through a lot of stages in life. That the favorable stage, stage that is convenient, the one that is not convenient, and so on. You need to pass through a lot of stage in life before you become wealthy, or you make money, or you become rich, or even success, whatever you tag as success as well. This graph is also applicable to it. So whatever you tag success, this graph is also applicable to what we are talking about. Anything we see as success in our life, this graph is applicable to it. You understand me? Or another example I can give, maybe let's say you want to have a good husband. You must have faced through a lot with your opposite gender. Before you now finally find someone that think that both of you are compatible, you share chemistry, and you're compatible, and you can go along with it. So anything you tag success, this graph will give you this graph represent a pictorial representation of whatever you tag success and how you can achieve that success. How you can achieve that success. Now, in this graph, there's a lot of things that we experience in this graph. There's a lot of things that we experience in this graph. At this stage, here is ascending, ascending state. When you ascend, ascending state. So this is ascending state. Here is stable. Here is stable state. Stable state. That place here is tagged as stable state. Here, like this, the arrow facing this side, don't mind my drawing. It's called, here is tagged as failing state. Failing state. Failing state. This is failing state. And I tag it as fail forward. You fail here, you fail forward. Let me write it. That place is rough. There is something I want to explain. I have something I want to explain there. So here, why the arrow is pointing this direction, it's called fail forward or failing forward. Failing forward state. Forward state. That is failing forward state. Failing forward state. So at this place, here, at this place, we have falling state. Falling state. Falling state. Falling state. At this place, the arrow going up is called rising state. After you have fall, maybe at a particular time, you have bad business, and maybe you run at loss. The company run at loss. The company run at loss. Then you experience failure at that time. You experience failure at that time. Here, the arrow pointing this direction is preventing state. I'll still explain that later. Why it is preventing state. Preventing state. Why the arrow is facing this side. I mean, why the arrow is facing this side. The arrow depicts the meaning of what I put there. Here and here is known as rescue base or point. Rescue base or point. Rescue base. So as I was saying, rescue base. I think there was something wrong with the spelling. Rescue base or point. Rescue base or point. And here Why the arrow is facing this direction, it is known as imaginary. 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 We don't have more space there. And it's not real. This place is not real. It's not real. I will explain later. I will explain that why it is not real. Let me put it there. Not this place, this particular arrow is not real. Not real. This particular arrow is not real. Sorry if the whole thing is jam-packed, but I believe you can hear what I'm saying. So that place is not real. That particular arrow is not real. Not real. Not real. So this is life itself. When we talk about creating wealth or success, you want to achieve success, you want to create wealth, you want to make money, you want to become rich. This is how it works. You ascend, this is 0. You ascend from 0, and there are some people that they are starting might not be from 0. There are some people that their starting might not be from 0. Maybe people that are born into wealthy family. Maybe their father is wealthy, is rich, is a son or a daughter of a rich man. So they might not start from 0. And there are some time that based on the upbringing from their parents might decide to allow them to go and start something on their own. Go make money of your own. This money is my money. I work for it. Go and make your money. After all, I've given you an education. I'll sponsor your education. And now a graduate. Now a graduate, you have a BSc holder, master holder, probably PhD. So go use your knowledge to start something. So there's every tendency that they start from 0. But some people that they have already have inheritance with them, they have inheritance with them, they might not start from 0. They could start anything above 0. Anywhere above 0. But if they still want to maintain that wealth or create more wealth or grow that wealth that they inherit from their parents, they still have to face some of these states or stages in life in creating more wealth. So their family will continue to retain that name, the title. The family will continue to retain that title. They still have to go through this state or stages. So in the ascending stage, when you start, sometimes you might have a good start. Later on, maybe one thing or the other, as you are growing, might not be in ascending. You are growing with time. So later on, and as you are achieving, you understand me, your achievement continue to increase. But when you get here, what you are achieving, that is from here to here, this is your achievement. So, and it is increasing, little from here, here, you can see that it's increasing. When you get here, it's not increasing, but it's like your income, what you are generating, maybe if like a business person, your income is no more increasing, it's now stable. Or maybe like somebody who's working for a company or an organization, a public officer. No, there will be time that maybe what you are earning wages or salary. You understand? There will be a time promotion will determine increment from what you are earning. Promotion will determine increment for what you are earning. And if you are a business person, there will be a time that things will become stable. You'll find out that you are not hardening up. New things are not hardening up to what you have as a business person, but you are still making money, or you are still achieving something, but there is nothing like the growth is not there, but you are moving because we are low milk. You can't stop time. Time is constant. Time is constant. It's permanent. It's permanent. You can't stop time. The only thing that can stop growing is maybe your achievement. Can stop growing in achievement, or it becomes stable. It becomes stable with time. It becomes stable or steady with time. But time is permanent, it's constant, it's unstoppable. Time will continue to increase. But maybe your level of your achievement might become stable at a particular state. So that is it. So when you get to a particular state, maybe you will finally figure out what is happening, why you're not making progress in your business, and not making progress in your business. So finally figure it out. Then when you figure it out, you try to provide solution to that area, and you now eventually find out that you're now started growing again. You started growing again. You started rising again. You rise. Same thing with this. You rise. You started rising again. But actually, why I don't want to use rise here is because there was no experience of falling. So what the proper language to use is, then you started ascending again. You started ascending again. So now it's ascending. When you get to this particular position, then you experience failing. You experience failing. You fail forward. You experience failing. Something started decreasing. Maybe as a result of maybe something that you had that you deploy into your business, or something that you fail to deploy, maybe based on condition. It might be a political condition factor or economic factor, and you did not quickly know that such wave, your business will be hit with such wave, and your business was hit with such wave. So now it's now result to failing forward. Things now started decreasing as the kind of profit or income that is coming in before started decreasing. You've now started experiencing failing forward. You can only fail forward. You don't fail backward. That's something you can't resist time. You can't go back to time. Time will continue to move. Time will continue to move. The only thing you will experience is what? You fail forward. So when you fail forward, at the point at which you realize what really happens, Okay, this is the mistake I made. Okay, I didn't pay attention to the economic factor, the political wave, that's change of government, and the new people that are in the government right now, they do not favor our business. So we need to try to move or try to adjust ourselves to the new government, the policy that they have put in place now. So we need to understand the policy, how we can able to work with the policy so that our business will start thriving again. So now at that point you realize it stop. The stop, that is, you stop to fail, is called what? Falling state. That was your falling state. At that point, you stop. That's for your falling state. So from there, you realize yourself and you started ascending again. You started ascending again from here. So now you start rising again. The rising started from here. I'm supposed to put it there, but because the space is small, so started rising again. Then later on, you experience a little stable state. Then you start rising again, rising state. So you start rising again, so until you get here. Then you experience another falling again here. But one thing I want to discuss here, why I call it preventive state, that once you experience something of this state, there is no way you can go back to this place. Once you experience something and you have already cured it, you can't go back to this place. So, and there's no way maybe you can be returned to this side. So at this place it's called what? Rescue base. That was the point you now realize. Rescue base. It worked with this as well. That was the point you realize, okay, this is what we should do. And when you apply that in, when you apply it, then your business pick up back. So at that point is what? It's the rescue base or point. But this place, for the arrow facing the other side, if the arrow is facing the other side, it will prevent you. There's no way you can go down here again. There's no way you can go down here again. You can't go down here again. That is, you can't fit down here. So you just keep it here until you find your way out. Then you started moving again. So this arrow that is facing here is not possible because you are trying to. If this arrow that is facing here means imaginary, not real, it is failure. That is failure for you, and it's not real. It's not real for you to experience it. That maybe okay, you now feel, and you now move backward here. That means you are trying to remove time. It's not possible for you to remove time. It's not possible for you to remove time. So now let's relate it to the gradient. This is the graph. Now let's relate it to the gradient. This is a straight line. This is a straight line. This arrow represents success. This arrow represents success, and this one represents total loss. Total loss or negative loss. Let me just use minus to represent that. Negative loss. Negative loss. This is success. This is total loss or negative loss. But this arrow happen to be something that is not real. Happen to be something that is not real. This only happen. This total loss or negative loss only happen in your imagination. It's not real. What you experience, number one, let me do this. Here we have what we call progress. You are progressing. There's every possibility that you are progressing, but you might not be successful. Only the arrow face up, that is success. But here, progress. Here is lesson loss. Lesson loss or free loss. Why I target lesson loss? Why I target lesson loss? That failure that is failing forward is never bad sometimes. Sometimes it might even help you to regroup yourself, to remodel yourself, to rearrange yourself, so that you can even make more success within short period. Within short period. Let me just use what I'm trying. Let me use a short graph to explain that. For example, let's say this is a graph. This is a graph. It's a graph. This is another graph. Look at what I'm trying to say here is that sometimes failure is never a bad thing, but you will learn from your failure. And sometimes you might be experiencing maybe loss. You might be experiencing loss sometime due to the fact that maybe there is something that you are trying to do now. Maybe you want to be more mental, and you go into research, or you enroll for a particular class to have more knowledge. You enroll for a particular class to have more knowledge on a particular area. So maybe during that time, you are not paying full attention on the business you are doing. So you are cutting, you are trying to share time. You are trying to share time. So during that time, your business may be experiencing failure or even stable state. May be experiencing failure or stable state. So by the time you gather up, you get more knowledge, get more idea on how to do that thing better than the way you are doing it before. It can help you to quickly rise. So you can see this now. You can see the 4 that we have here. See the different of the 4 we have here, and here they are just little 4, little 4. But very big 4 here. But look at the result of that big 4. See what it gives to you. See the result at the end of the day. See what it gives to you. Something happened here. So there is nothing bad in you failing sometimes. There's nothing bad in you failing sometimes. But make sure it is a calculated failure or a calculated loss. That at the end of the day, what you have lost during that time, you now generate it in a multiple. You now make it back in a multiple fold or multiple time. You make it back in a multiple time. So look at it now. You can see the difference now. You can see the difference. So look at the time now. Look at the time frame here. Look at the time frame here. See the achievement of this person. But look at the person that experienced failure here. See the achievement of that person. See what the person has achieved. Can you see it now? See within that time, short period of time, but see what it has achieved. This person also achieved, but see what it has achieved. So there's nothing bad in failing of that, but it has to be a calculated failure. Do you understand me? Make sure when you are experiencing failure or you are experiencing loss, make sure that it is a calculated loss or calculated failure, that you want to use it to achieve something. Anything could happen during that time. Anything could happen during that time. So if it is a straight line like this, that is progress. You are progressing. If it's come down, the arrow is facing. Let me put arrow here. If it's arrow facing, that is straightforward. That is lesson loss. You are learning one lesson. Or free fall. That's something that's something you are going to gain from that what failure that you experience in that area. That's something you are going to gain from there for that failure you experience in that area. So that is it. So wealth creation gradient is like climbing a mountain. You can see, for those people who have visited mountain before, I don't think I've visited mountain before, but I've seen it in TV. Those who of you that have climbed mountain before, you know that it's not a straight. For you to get to the top or to the peak of that mountain, you know that it's not a straight road. It's not like this. It is like this. It's not a straight road. It's like this. It's rough. The road is rough. It's never a smooth road. The road is rough before you can get to the peak of that mountain. So also is wealth. You are bound to experience a lot of things in life. You face challenge. You face a lot of predicaments. You face a lot of trouble sometimes that come from different various phases, different various phases. Trouble can come, problem can come, but make sure that you are still moving. You are progressing. If you are not ascending, make sure you are progressing. If you are not ascending, make sure you are progressing. So that is it. Wealth creation gradient is like climbing mountain. Another thing is that the rate at which you acquire wealth will determine how wealthy you are. How wealthy you are. The rate at which you acquire wealth will determine how wealthy you are. If your wealth is being, if your wealth increment is inversely proportional, to time. If your wealth increment is inversely proportional to time, you are more wealthy, you will be more wealthy. And if your wealth increment is directly proportional to time, you'll be less wealthy. Yes. If your wealth increment is inversely proportional to time, you will be more wealthy. And if it is directly proportional to time, you will be less wealthy. I know a lot of people will be looking at me right now that, what did I mean? Or some people will say, do I have a proof? Yes, I have a proof. And this one will take us into calculation. I'll just give you the calculation, or I'll give you a little calculation of what I'm talking about. Now, let me put this question on the board. I have two questions that I'm going to bring out. Number one, if it takes 4 minutes to achieve 10 minutes, 10 units of wealth, 10 units of wealth in a direct proportion. Hey, now comes the question. How many units will be achieved in 1 minute? 1 minute in a direct proportion. That is one. B, how many units will be achieved in 1 minute in an inverse proportion. That is B. C, how many units will be achieved in 4 minutes in an inverse proportion. That is, we have 3 questions. We are going to solve all this to prove what I've said here, that your wealth increment is when your wealth increment is make in an inverse proportion, you'll be more wealthy. And if it's in a direct proportion, you'll be less wealthy. That is what we are trying to prove now, and we prove it mathematically. And this mathematical proving that I'm going to make is applicable in reality. when you want to do something. It's very, very applicable, especially if you want to create wealth. So D, how many units how many units will be achieved in 8 minutes, in 8 minutes, 8 minutes, in both direct and inverse proportion. Then E, how long will it, I'm talking about time, will it take, how long will it take both direct and inverse proportion to achieve 16 units of wealth. 16 units of wealth. So look at the question very well. Probably you can zoom in or zoom out to view the question. And you can also write it down, because I'm going to clean this part now, so we can start solving the question one after the other. We can start solving the question one after the other. So look at the question very well. And if you want to, you can pause it, pause the video, then you can write down the question. I'm going to clean that area. Hope you have gotten it. Hope you have checked the question, you have copied down. So I'm going to clean it right now, so we can start solving the question one by one. I want to clean it up. All right. I'm not trying to teach mathematics here. I just want to prove this using mathematics. I want to prove this, what I've said about you create more wealth in an inverse proportion, and you create less wealth in a direct proportion. Now, solution to the question. Solution given. What are we given from that question? For those of you that don't like mathematics, just pay attention. You'll get it. It's very simple something. It's a very simple something. So I just want to prove it. We are given time. Time equals to 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Let me read the question again. If it takes 4 minutes to achieve 10 units of wealth in a direct proportion. That was the question. That was the first instruction given. Then the question that we are asked to answer, now the later follows. So now, but what we are given there in terms of value, we are given time, and we are also given wealth in units. So wealth was represented with unit, and we are given 10 units. 10 units of wealth. So the first question asked was, how many units will be achieved in 1 minute in a direct proportion? In 1 minute in a direct proportion. So if you take 4 minutes to achieve 10 units of wealth, take 4 minutes to achieve 10 units of wealth, then how many minutes, how many units will be achieved in a direct proportion? I want you to take into consideration in a direct proportion. How many units? So therefore, if 4 minutes equals to 10 units, then 1 minute equals to, let's represent what we are looking for with x, s units, equals to s units. So by the time we do a cross multiplication, s will be s units. Let me put it there. S unit will be 10 units times 1 minute. 1 minute over 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So let's cancel this out. Let's cancel this, their unit out. So this cancel this. So therefore, S equals to 10 over 4 equals to 2.5 units. Equals to 2.5 units. So therefore, the answer is 2.5 units of wealth will be achieved in 1 minute in a direct proportion. In a direct proportion. In a direct proportion. Can you see that? So 2.5 units of wealth will be achieved. It will be achieved in 1 minute in a direct proportion. That is, we have solved the question for A. That is A. That is sub A. Can you see it now? You can pause it, look at it very well. Now, I'm cleaning that. I don't have enough space. So I will leave this. I'll just clean this aspect. So we have answered A. We have answered the question for A. Now the next one is B. The next one is B. Now let me read B out and see what we have there. How many units will be achieved in 1 minute in an inverse proportion? How many units will be achieved in 1 minute in an inverse proportion? So therefore, in this one, first of all, we need to convert our time. We need to convert our time to inverse proportion. So time here is equal to t equals to 1 over 4. Equals to t equals to 1 over 4. And that is 0.25. That is the time we are going to use. We are going to convert the time to inverse proportion. We need to inverse the time. So if you inverse your time, if you inverse the time we have, which is 1 over the time given to you, whatever you have as your answer there is the value for the inverse proportion of your time. Now, let's now go into the calculation. So now, if that is S unit equals to 1 minute, equals to 1 minute. So what we are looking for now, we are looking for how many units was in an inverse proportion. So therefore, what we have here, so it's going to be 10 units, 10 units equals to 0.25. 0.25. 10 units is equal to 0.25. So by the time we do the cross multiplication, at the end of the day, we're having what? S to be equals to 10 times 1 over 0.25. And our answer is what? 40. And our answer is 40. So can you see the difference now? The difference, go back to the answer we got in with the same 1 minute the same 1 minute with the same condition, the same 1 minute, the same condition in a direct mode. What we have is what? 2.5 units. And in an inverse, that is direct proportion, that is the direct proportion, then in an inverse proportion, what you have is what? 40. What you have is what? 40 units. And that is 16 times. 16 times of direct. So can you see that this thing is applicable in real life, but when we get to where we are going to apply this, that you know what to do. Even if you want to do business, you know what to do, how to do the calculation. You understand me? How to make your money in an inverse proportion. What are the things that you need to invest? What are the steps that you have to take? How do you have to go about it? Everything in an inverse proportion. What are you going to do? So when we get to where we start creating wealth itself, but all this is just the fundamental, what you need to know. So by the time we get to that stage, if I'm saying some things, it will not look as if, what do you mean? What is this person trying to what is this person trying to say? What the thing is said now, what does it mean? You understand? By the time I started speaking in language, I just want to implore you, if this is your first time in watching this video, I will implore you, after this video, you see any link on your screen, go and start from Power of Positivity. That is where the video started from. Go and start from Power of Positivity. Then from there, watch the subsequent video, one after the other. So you get all the things that I've been putting out before we now get to wealth creation gradient and graph. Because now we are in the calculation mode. So in case if you are getting confused here, go to Power of Positivity. Start from there. Watch the next video as it for them one after the other. So it will help you to understand a lot of things, because we are just starting. We have not even get anywhere yet. We have not gotten to anywhere yet. We're just starting. So you can see the difference in an inverse proportion. In an inverse proportion, see what we got in. Look at that is 16 times and about 37.5 difference. That's a very huge one. Very huge one. And that is how it works in life. And people that you see them wealthy today, these are the things that they understand and they deploy into their business. They deploy into their company and they are making money. You can see them, the richest men in the world. You can see Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and some other people too. They understand all these things. So they understand all these things. And this is what is supposed to even be paying money for. That's let me teach you this. Because I'm putting it out for free. I'm giving it out for free. You are taking it for free. So that is B for you. That is B for you. You have gotten the answer for B. You can view it very well. Pause the video and look at it very well. So that is B. Now let's go to C. Let's go and solve C. C. And the question we are having in C is how many units will be achieved in 4 minutes in an inverse proportion? How many units will be achieved in 4 minutes in an inverse proportion? And that one is very, very simple. That's a very, very simple question. If it takes, let's put it this way, if it takes 1 minute, 1 minute to achieve 40 units of wealth, 40 units of wealth in an inverse proportion, therefore, let's represent units that will be achieved in 4 minutes in an inverse proportion with letter Z. So therefore, Z now equals to 40 times 4. 40 times 4, and that is 160 units. Wow, 160 units. 160 units. The same 4 minutes that we've gotten 160 units, you can only achieve 10 units when you apply it in a direct proportion. You can only achieve 4 minutes. You can only achieve 10 units with the same 4 minutes. You can see 10, 160. That is 16 times. But let's look at the difference. What is the difference? 150 units difference. That is a huge one. You can see it? That is a huge one. 150 units. The same time, but different results. The same time, different result. So you can see that. Let me just draw a little graph to represent that. After acknowledge all the condition that you might experience. So let's say this is what? Let's say this is 4 minutes. Let's say this is 4 minutes. Let's say this is 10. And this is 160. You can see for here, direct, this is only what you have. And in inverse proportion, that is direct proportion, this is what you have as a result. And inverse proportion, this is what you have. Can you see the difference? Very huge one. So you cannot see that some people make money faster than other people. Some people make money faster than other people. So that is it. Look at it very well. We just through with the C. That is the question C. Now we are moving to the D question now. Let me clean this place. So I'm just using this as an example. That's why I said it in when I'm drawing this graph that let's say all condition, economic factor, political factor, every other thing, weather, climate that have affected your business. Do you understand me? But the approach you give it determine your result. The approach you give it will determine what your result. If you are doing it, if you are giving it a direct proportional approach, then you will see your result. And if you are giving an inverse proportional approach, then you will also see your result. And then a lot of people will be thinking that what is this approach? How can you apply it? We'll still get there. But I just want to prove what I've said there, that your wealth, you make more wealth in an inverse proportion and less wealth in a direct proportion. Now let's solve the question D now. Let's solve the question D. The question is, how many units will be achieved in 8 minutes in both directions? How many units will be achieved in 8 minutes in both directions? So don't let us waste much of our time here. Let's see, let me use this is direct, and this is an inverse. Inverse, as you can see now. So now, in our direct, let's represent what you are looking for here. Let's represent this one with P. We are looking for P units in 8 minutes. And here we're looking for Q unit. Q unit. Q unit in also 8 minutes. And also 8 minutes. So therefore, P equals to here, number of P equals to what? 2.5 times 8. 2.5 times 8, and P equals to 20. 20 units. What you have is what? 20 units in what? In 8 minutes. Here, we are having Q. And what do we have here? That is going to be 40 times 8. 40 times 8. And Q is going to be what? 320 units. Wow. Wow. You can see 16 times, but when you look at the difference, 350. Wow. That is how rich people become rich. That is how they become rich. They understand all these things. You can see the difference now. That is all 340. 340, when you look for the difference, that is 340 units difference. You understand me? Somebody that both of you start business at the same time, maybe the same year. But because you understand what it requires for that business to thrive, to grow faster, you deploy it and you see results. But you are just following direct with time. I only work, the time is money, Only it depends on how you use your time. You don't use your time with sense. Use your time, understand what it means, what time really entails. Then you won't see much result. You see result. That person is making money as well. It's creating wealth as well. But there is difference. There is difference in the way they are creating. There is different in the way they are creating. Now let's go to the final one. Let's go to the final one. So let me clean this as well. Let's go to the final one. Let's go to the final one. And the final one, that is saying he. If you still remember the question, probably if you put it down when I wrote it. How long will it take both direct and inverse proportion to achieve 16 units of wealth? How long will it take both direct and inverse proportion to achieve 16 units of wealth? Now, that is very, very simple. So now, let's say that the time, let's represent the time. Let's first solve the direct first. let's represent the time with C. So now C is the time required to achieve 16 units of wealth. 16 units of wealth, and that is C equals to 16 units, then 4 minutes equals to 10 units. So now when we do cross multiplication, C becomes 16. C becomes 16 times 4 over 10 units. We have unit here. No, just let's keep it. So over times 10, that is over that is 16 times 4 over 10. 16 times 4 over 10. And our answer, C, equals to 6.4 minutes. 6.4 minutes. That is in a direct proportion. Since you have gotten your answer in a direct proportion, let us see how many minutes it will take us. We'll now use the value we have here. We just inverse it. We inverse the value here. This is what we are looking for. Then we inverse the value here. So in an inverse, that is inverse proportion. So in an inverse, let's see. So let's use D as our denoted letter. D in the time required. Okay, D is the time. Sorry, this one's supposed to be is the time. So now D is the time required to achieve 16 units of wealth. 16 units of wealth. That is inverse in an inverse proportion. So now D equals to what? For us to get D now, we need to what? Inverse the time. As inverse, so it's going to be what? It's going to be 1 over 6.4. 1 over 6.4 minutes. And D is equals to 0.16 minutes. So you can see how small it is. So by the time you are still spending 6.4 million just to generate 16 units of wealth in direct proportion, you only need 0.16 units to generate the same wealth in an inverse proportion. So I hope you can understand what I have put out today and what I've tried to explain about wealth creation gradient graph. So wealth creation is like climbing a mountain. It's like climbing a mountain. It's always rough. There is no mountain that is smooth. Go and check any mountain all over the world. It's always what? It's always rough. It's always raw. So understand this. Watch the video over again to understand and those of you that don't like to understand what I'm trying to say here. And those of you that don't like mathematics, I think we just only use simple calculation here. I don't mean to bring out calculation, but I just want to prove what I've said, that your wealth, you make more wealth in an inverse proportion and less wealth in a direct proportion. An inverse proportion and a direct in an more wealth in an inverse proportion and less wealth in a direct proportion. And I've done the proving to you. And the proving, that is how it was. And this proving is applicable in real world. It's applicable in real world. Thank you for watching. our video today. Thank you for watching this video. And our next video is the next video that we are going to make is wealth creation part or navigation theory. That one is going to be something good also. Wealth creation part, that is part that you have to follow to create wealth, or navigation theory. That is our next video. And I've said it before, if this is your first time of watching our video, go and start from Power of Positivity. It will help you a lot. It will help you to gain a lot from it. You'll gain a lot from it. Go and watch our previous, start from Power of Positivity. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you find value in this video, make sure you subscribe to it. This will help the algorithm, the YouTube, and every other social media app is working with to display the same thing you have gained and you have enjoyed in this channel for others also to enjoy it. Help others. Help yourself to help others. Thank you very much. I remain my humble self, King Gwed. See you in my next video. Have a great time.